Hi, this is Kadir and welcome to my video. This video is the IELTS Speaking Part 2. You might have watched my Part 1 with lots of tips how you could perform better in Part 1 of IELTS. In this video of Part 2, I will spend more time on different techniques of note-taking and how you can perform better and get good grades on your Speaking IELTS Part 2. This part 2 is considered the hardest, the most difficult one. It's probably because you have to speak straight for 2 minutes. So there's no break. You're not supposed to have any break. You have to speak constantly for 2 minutes. So people sometimes run out of ideas and they say, oh, how am I going to speak for 2 minutes? That's why people really dread it. They say, oh, it's really the most difficult part of IELTS. But no problem, if you follow certain techniques and give yourself lots of practice, you should be confident that you're going to be okay in this part 2. For this part 2, it usually lasts for between 3 to 4 minutes. And before they ask you to start speaking for 2 minutes, you will have 1 minute. And they're also going to give you a piece of paper and a pencil where you can jot down your ideas or you can take your notes. Now, this 1 minute is the most important part of your speaking exam part 2, because if you prepare and give you some more practice that how you can take notes for this 1 minute, it's really going to have a very positive effect on that. When you're taking your notes, please don't try to take notes in your own native language. Take notes in English and don't try to write in complete sentences. You just have 1 minute. And so in 1 minute, how many complete sentences you can try to write? It's not possible. You probably end up writing 1 or 2 or maybe 3 sentences, and this is not enough. So don't try to do it. And if you haven't practiced that how you can take short notes or how you can speak from notes, it is really worth giving yourself more time and practice on this point. Now let's take a look. What is a cue card? What's a topic card? What a topic card look like? Take a look at this one. Describe a small business that you would like to open. You should say what it is, where and when you want to start it, how you would do this, and explain why you have chosen this kind of business to start. Now, in this topic card, it's important that you understand your topic. Now, the first sentence is the most important part, to understand what actually the topic is. Like in this case, in this topic card, it says describe a small business that you would like to open. So it's the description, you're giving more detail to that business that you plan to open, you want to open. The rest of the bullet points, which says what it is, where and when you want to start it, how you would do this, and why you have chosen this. These are just the what you call the bullet points, and if you don't feel like answering any one of these, that's okay, or if you want to add any from your side, that's okay as well, as long as you're staying on the topic, in this case, which is the description of small business that you want to start. You're okay. If you are going away from this topic and you're adding some extra information or something that's not related to the description of starting a business, then probably you're not going to get good grades. But if you don't want to explain why you have chosen this kind of business, that's okay. You can add something else. And I'm going to show you that how you can add more detail, how you can extend your answers. So here are the 3 techniques I'm going to give you. The first technique is that you can simply follow the question prompts. The question prompts mean the same questions I just mentioned in my cue card, which says what it is, where and when you want to start it, how you would do this, and why you have chosen this. You can simply follow these questions and add some notes like what. So put some notes here. So I gave myself 1 minute and I took these notes and I followed these question prompts and see what I got. So here it is. So what came to my mind is coffee shop, and I want this to be by the riverside or on the beach, and I want to start this in summer, and a little bit about the inside of the restaurant, which is the classic look of the restaurant, and the furniture. I want the staff to wear classic outfits, and then I'm going to talk about savings. I'll talk about my friend who's going to share the costs, and if I've run out, then I'm going to take some loan from the bank. And the last 3 points actually talk about my dream. I'm going to be my own boss, and I'm going to because I enjoy serving others. And the last 3 bullet points actually give the answer to why. So you can look at the prompt questions, and using the prompt question you can take some notes, and these notes are going to help you to speak for 2 minutes. Now let's move on to our second technique. Our second technique is the use of 5 senses. Now 5 senses are like sight, seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting, touching. So using any of these or all of these 5 senses, you can also elaborate your answer. You can also extend your answer. Take a look. Now, using the same topic card, which is about the description of small business you want to start. Using the same topic card, I took these notes using my 5 senses. So this is what I got. It says smart restaurant, cozy, relaxing, classical music, soothing, French cuisine, coffee, lattes, decor, high-tech embedded menus. Now, when I look at the 5 senses, this came to my mind. And cozy, relaxing, classical music. You see, all these notes actually have been, they reflect these 5 senses. And my third technique is that you can simply do brainstorming. I'm going to share my notes when I did the brainstorming. So in this case, I'm not looking at the prompt questions and I'm looking at the 5 senses. I'm just looking at brainstorming. Like if somebody asks me what kind of business I want to start, this came to my mind. So what I wanted to start is the fast food restaurant. I want this to be in downtown on a busy street. For the menu, I must have fried chicken. Of course, I will explain why. And then I want new furniture, brand new furniture. I want the color of the walls of the furniture lively. And then I am going to target the young people. Why young people? Because young people, they spend more. They like spending more money on food or on different kind of things. And then I will talk about the profit, and then I will talk more about the it's easy to run, and I will say that it's probably not very expensive to run this kind of business. So we looked at all these 3 techniques. The first one was about using the prompt questions that you find on the topic card. The second one was using the 5 senses, and the third one is brainstorming. The first 2 techniques probably give you some kind of structure to your talk, whereas brainstorming probably does not give you as much of a structure. But this is not a problem. As I said earlier, as long as you are talking about, you're sticking to the topic, in this case, which is the description of the small business you want to start in your life. So if you stick to this topic, you are okay. Now, these were just the example that how you could take notes. You can try and let me know how you feel. Now your notes are ready. What next? Yes, so before you start looking at your notes and start speaking, it's always a good idea that you add some kind of introduction to it. And after adding the introduction to it, which could be around 1 or 2 sentences, look at your notes, give the little talk, and then you conclude it by adding extra 1 or 2 sentences. For example, thinking about the same topic card which you describe a small business that you'd like to open, I would start my thought like this, that I have always wanted to own my own business. And if it's going to be a small business, I would always want to start my own coffee shop. See, this is my style of starting here. And then I will look at my notes and I will give all the detail using either the question prompts or the five senses or the brainstorming technique. And then I will like to conclude it. And then something like this, for example. Well, I hope one day I would be able to start my own small business as a small coffee. That's it, and you're done. Make sure when you're speaking for these 2 minutes, your speaking style is informal, casual. Of course, you have to use everyday language, but please avoid slangs and try to be more chatty and make sure that your talk or the information you're taking from your notes, it's interesting and you're speaking in a very friendly way. And when it comes to practice, yes, of course, it's going to make you more perfect and more confident. But please remember, try to practice not just the easy questions, also find some boring or unusual questions and try to practice it, because you never know what you're going to get on your topic card. And if you ever get stuck, nothing is coming to your mind, think about a story somewhere taken either from the news or from TV or your own friend's story. So you can easily steal the information in this case and present it as your own, because you won't be marked down for not telling the truth. Remember, the focus of this IELTS speaking exam is on your English language proficiency, not on telling the truth. So don't worry about it. I hope these techniques and tips help you to get the higher band on your speaking exam. And I wish you all the best. Please leave your comments down below. I always look forward to receiving your comments. Until then, cheers!